Hey there, slowpokes. Welcome to another episode of Let's Talk, the series where we gotta go fast. This is your friendly neighborhood Birdman, and today we're talking Sonic the Hedgehog. So Sonic the Hedgehog is based on the video game character Sonic, who is an anthropomorphic blue hedgehog from outer space. Orphaned as a child, Sonic was forced to head to Earth using his famous golden rings, where he spends the next 10 years learning about humans and their culture, but unfortunately, this is a lonely life for him as he cannot reveal his existence to humans or risk being captured. Meanwhile, the evil Dr. Robotnik is hot on his trail, and Tom, the town sheriff, must help Sonic retrieve his rings and ultimately escape. Okay, so Sonic was a movie that I was absolutely sure would be a train wreck. From the original character design to the decision to make this film live action, there was no possible way this movie was going to be any good, so I went in with probably the lowest expectations you could possibly have. And you know what? I think that was a great decision because I was honestly pleasantly surprised by this movie. I was so sure they would ruin my favorite video game character of the 90s, besides Blanca, of course, but man, was I wrong. This movie is actually pretty damn good. From the beginning, the film is just laugh out loud funny. Like, almost as funny as Toy Story 4. It legitimately got me to ugly laugh like twice. Believe me, that is hard to do. I want to emphasize that the comedy is this film's strongest aspect, and as an obvious comedy film, that's a great thing. Like 75% of the time, the dialogue in this movie is building up to some sort of joke, and most of the time the joke lands. James Marsden, you may know him as Cyclops in the X-Men films, is freaking hilarious. You would think most of the comedy comes from Sonic himself, but James actually rivals Jim Carrey for the funniest character in the film. Speaking of Jim Carrey, all I can say is wow, the dude still got it. You know, I'd heard a rumor that Jim was going to do another Mask and probably another Ace Ventura, and I gotta say, if his performance is anything like his Dr. Robotnik, count me the hell in. This guy is a force in this film. I was initially hesitant about Carrey playing Robotnik because he doesn't physically look like the character, but as the movie went on, he progressively looks more and more like the character, so rest assured, Sonic fans, they do the look justice, even if Jim doesn't get fat in the movie. I will say that I don't remember Robotnik being as comical a character in the games, but as this is a somewhat alternate rendition of the Sonic universe, I thought it totally worked.
I just thought you might like a latte with steamed Austrian goat milk.
Of course I want a latte. I love the way you make them!
Sonic himself is pretty much what you'd expect. Hyperactive, fast-talking, and always running around. To me, he seemed to be a combination of the 90s TV show and 2000s video game versions of Sonic, which I found to be an enjoyable blend and easy to understand. It's great that they changed his character design to be more aligned with his video game look, even though it still isn't exactly perfect. If you're going to go the Detective Pikachu route, then go the Detective Pikachu route and make the character look like he does in the video game. I think that's a reasonable expectation, and fortunately, the film nails it. I also really enjoyed how pop culture savvy this Sonic seemed to be, from reading the Flash comic books to talking about current TV programs. It feels like the filmmakers actually cared about Sonic and weren't in it to simply cash in on a very beloved character. I mean, the film is set in Green Hills, Montana, for Christ's sake. These people put a bit of love into this thing. They also have Sonic take a shot at Mario, and it's really fast, so you might miss it. The reason I'm saying this is because I seem to be the only one that got the joke, as I laughed out loud and nobody else in my theater did, so fair warning to my fellow 30-year-old Sonic fans. And to you young Sonic fans, there was a time where Sonic and Mario were bitter rivals and not these friendly versions appearing in each other's games. There was a time where you had to pick a side, is what I'm saying. If I had to talk about some things that I found to be negative, it would be how inconsistent the film's tone can be at times. There were some cheesy, off-balance moments where they're making dirty jokes while the movie is at the same time kinda sorta appealing to children with those you can do anything through the power of friendship kind of moments. I just wish the movie stuck to the more adult-oriented humor for the whole movie, but I totally understand why they had to appeal to children. There are also two obvious Quicksilver moments in the film that weren't as cool as Days of Future Past. I mean, the first one was okay, but the second one wasn't as cool or as funny as the film thought it was. The plot of this film is also very thin. Basically, Sonic loses his rings in San Francisco, and he enlists the help of the Sheriff of Green Hills to help him get them back while Dr. Robotnik chases and tries to kill them. If you care about the plot in movies, this is a chase movie, so be prepared to not really care. Overall, I thought Sonic the Hedgehog was a really fun time at the movies. It's one of those rare video game movies that's not an absolute shit show. I can legitimately see this as being a movie that critics will turn their noses up at, but audiences will love. I laughed a lot, and that's really the point with a film like this. Jim Carrey goes full Jim Carrey, and he got my theater to roar with laughter almost every time he was on screen. I did find the film's tone to be a bit off and cliche sometimes, and it wasn't really heavy on plot, but hey, what do you really expect in a live-action Sonic film? A B. Thanks for watching this episode of Let's Talk. Are you interested in watching Sonic? Well, you should be, because I just gave this movie a pretty good review. Whatever your thoughts, let me know in the comment section below. This has been your friendly neighborhood Birdman, and I think I'm about to go get a chili dog. See ya!